Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every
Okay, so first I think it's in Ho Chi Minh City, maybe the Ben Thanh Market.
Right.
And
So the market.
yeah,
Yep.
the address is Ben Thanh Work District 1. And does it open every day? Actually, I don't really know. Maybe every day, maybe. And
Okay.
what time does it close? Is 7 p.m. How much drinks? I don't know. I don't really remember much about those.
We can talk about the prices in general. Is it an expensive market? Is it a cheap market?
Well, basically, I just don't know. I just know the name, and I just heard of my friend gossiping about it.
Perfect. Thank you for that. That's perfect. And the web, does it have a web address?
I don't know. I didn't heard it from my friend before.
Okay, you didn't hear about that. No worries. Good. All right. So I can see that. Thank you for that, Bao. You did very well. I can see that Nam has also sent us some ideas. District 1, Landmark 81, Celadon City, and the Aeon Mall. You know what? I actually heard of this one, the Aeon Mall. Good. Some of my students told me that it's the biggest one in Ho Chi Minh City. Good. All right. So there we go. That's a good one. What we need to do now, we talked about the address, the open hours, and so on, because on the Tourist Information Center leaflet, which is this one here in the picture, we have, of course, the full address, the opening times and days, the things we could buy there and their prices, and of course, what you can find there. At the Tourist Information Center, you can find maps, and you can find an advisor, a person that can help you with different information. And of course, there is a website which we can access. Okay, now let's do it this way, because we will need to role play a conversation at a Tourist Information Center. And we'll be going back to exercise number 2 to help us. Just before that, we need to agree on one of these attractions, one of these places, yeah? So should we pick the Aeon Mall? Do you both know it? Are you familiar with the Aeon Mall, Bao?
No, but I would like to visit.
Oh, okay, that's good. So maybe Nam is going to tell us a bit more about the mall. That's totally fine. Okay, good. So it's going to be like this. And we did say that the first part is drafting this conversation, and then we can role play. So it's going to be advisor, or at the Tourist Information Center, we are going to have a person working there, of course. So that's usually called advisor. Yeah. And then we're going to have a tourist afterwards. Advisor and tourist. So, or we can just say, if we don't know who that person is or what the role of that person is, we could just say tourist information office. Information officer could be called as well. So at the information office, there should be a man or a lady, an information officer or an advisor working there. Okay. So we did say that we're going to take the Aeon Mall as an example. And of course, the tourist is going to ask different questions about it. He's going to start with a general question, and that's usually asking for details or extra information. And how do you think the tourist is going to ask now? What do you think the first question of the tourist is going to be?
Maybe where to buy food, where to buy some bread, nuts, and drink.
Absolutely, yes, that's right. But the very first one needs to be a general question. Just take a look at the example. Can you give me some information about the Space Museum? How do you think this question is going to sound like? Can you...
Can you help me with some information about the Aeon Mall, please?
Yes, correct. Aeon Mall, please. That's right. Or can you provide me with some information, or I would like to know some details, or I would like to know more things about the Aeon Mall. Could you help me? Perfect. So that's the tourist side. Thank you for your input. We're going to move on to BAO. He's going to help us with the clerk's part, or the information officer's part. So information officer. What do you think the information officer will say? Yes, of course, or maybe I'm just busy. What do you think he or she will say? You have an example here, Bao? Yes, certainly.
Well, they might get know your help and then just answer. But to my case, I never go to Aeon Mall.
Oh, that's a good point. I agree with this one. Yeah, you're right. So I think that Nam should help us with this one. That's right, Bao. Thank you for that. Now, could you help us, please? How do you get to it? What do you know about this mall? So first of all, we need to answer the question, can you help me with some information?
So, the Aeon Mall is the supermarket, and there's many supplies for you to choose, or many some food for you to eat, and there are a lot of market and restaurant.
Oh, excellent. There are many restaurants to choose from. I'm missing an S here. No worries. To choose from. Okay, good. I would rather call it a shopping center. Yeah. So a shopping center instead of a supermarket. Okay, because a shopping center can have a supermarket. It can have some other shops. It can have a bank as well, and so on. All right. Good. Thank you for that. So that was the clerk's part. And then John is going to say, that's perfect, thanks. So the tourist would say, oh, maybe Bao can help us with this one. Instead of that's perfect, what would you say?
Thank you. We really need that.
Thank you. Excellent. We really needed that. Perfect. Okay. And then we're moving on to the next part. it's the best way to learn about the history of our country. So once again, now, what is the best thing about the Aeon Mall?
Oh, the best thing. So the food are there fresh and very delicious.
Perfect, the best thing. Yeah.
And they have everything for you to choose.
There you go. And delicious. And they usually help or they allow you to choose or to pick your products. Yeah, that's very good. If they allow you to pick your own products, that's actually amazing because in some markets they don't allow you to do this. Okay, good. So we are getting ready to the end of the role play. We only have 2 more lines. That's a really good idea. Oh, by the way, have you got any information about Kremlin? So, maybe Bao can help us with this one here. The tourist. What do you think the tourist could say next?
That sounds
We are talking-
fantastic.
That sounds fantastic. Remember that the topic or the subject is picking fresh food and delicious food, yeah?
Okay. But by the way, where can I go to get some milk?
Oh, there you go. Where can I go to get some milk? Perfect. Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, as a tourist, I would probably not ask for milk or some, common products, but I could ask about souvenirs. I could ask about the local delicacies. For example, I heard that in Vietnam, there's a very famous coffee called egg coffee. Yeah. So the egg coffee is mainly found in Hanoi, as far as I know, but I think that some coffee places in Ho Chi Minh City would also have it. So yeah, you could ask about some of these, like local things, specialties, yeah, like Vietnamese specialties, like the egg coffee, for example, or banh mi, or there's so many. All right, good. And we're just going to wrap this one up with the very last line, and that's going to be at the information office, the advisor will say. Now, what do you think the advisor will say? Where can I go to get some products, some local products?
Oh, yes, of course. The milk you can find at the drink market.
Oh, okay, you can find it in. Yeah. Oh, you do have such a market. Oh, that's very good. I would recommend, you could say, the drinks market. There you go. So you have a market that's dedicated to drinks. You can only find drinks there. That's cool. That's very good. All right. Excellent job. Excellent. And Bao, thank you for that. Yes, we have just finished this task. That was our little role play. There's no need for us to perform it because you already said it out loud. Yeah, you said it out loud. And the speaking part is, are there many museums in your hometown? Name some of them. Did you go to any museums when you were a child? When was the last time you visited a museum? And why do many children these days dislike museums? Well, guys, I'm going to give you 2 minutes of thinking time. Think about these questions, and we'll start in exactly 2 minutes. Okay? So please take it.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow night, windowless ride, feeling alive. Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memories that we're making tonight. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight. Yeah, I'll do anything that I feel like I wanna do. I'm living life like I got nothing left to prove. No end in sight, just always staying on the move. I'll go all night if that's just what I gotta do. Life's too short to care about what you can't afford. Memories are in what you explore, so just don't be ignored. Go ask for more, go ask for more. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going
Hey, we're ready to start. Who would like to start first? The first question is, are there many museums in your hometown? Maybe Bao can help us with this one. Are there many museums in your hometown, Bao? Or in your city, in the city that you live in?
Well, there is, but except that it's not very close to my actual home. So it's very far, but I can't name some of them. It's the War Remnants Museum, the Theater Museums, Museum of Vietnamese History.
Yeah.
And that's
Okay,
it.
that's very good. Please.
And well, I did remember to go there when I was a kid. I don't remember which age clearly, but I definitely think it's when I was 5.
Yeah.
And the last time I visited a museum is that I just see some old artifact about the war.
Okay. Thank you for that. And why do you think number 4?
Okay, so probably now I go back. It's pretty like boring and I dislike it only a little bit. And so does my other friend because we just go there and walk around, see some old artifact, and we just did nothing. Besides, I just hate taking picture.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I think you're right, indeed. I think that the exhibits or the artifacts should be more interactive. You should be able to maybe touch them, use them, or learn more about them in a more engaging way. That's right. Thank you for that. That was very good, Bao. What do you think now? Are there many museums in your hometown? Probably going to be the same, right? Maybe you can choose another museum.
There are many in my hometown. So there are Ho Chi Minh Campfire Museum and Ho Chi Minh City History Museum. I just know 2 of them.
Very good. Did you go to any museums when you were a child?
Yes, I did.
Right. What was your opinion? What did you feel about them? Did you like that experience? Was it enriching?
Yeah, I feel very proud of my country.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, we're talking about this a few days before celebrating Vietnam's reunification day, which is on the 30th of April. So, see, that's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3. When was the last time you visited a museum?
The last time I visited the museum is when I was grade 6.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's pretty recent, right? You're probably grade 7 or 8?
Yeah, so
Okay, good. And why do many children these days dislike museums? Why do you think so?
So maybe they come to the museum and they don't know the history of the war, so they think it's very boring. Just gun, or sword.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for that. Indeed, yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you, Nam, once again, and thank you, Bao. We will be proceeding with the next lesson, guys. So please just allow me for a few more seconds, and I'm going to open the next one, which is topic number 27. I'm just going to close all of them and open the correct one. It's called My Place. So this one is, one more time, called My Place. Topic number 27. So it's about us, actually. Where do you live? Who do you live with? I'm just going to break the ice with this one, and I'll be answering the first question about myself. So I live in London, and I live alone at the moment. I live alone, and I used to live with some of my friends. We used to share a house together, but not anymore. How many bedrooms are there in your home? Well, in my home, there's only one bedroom, actually. It's a small one. It's a studio. That's how we call it, a studio flat. Do you share a bedroom? No, I don't share a bedroom, but I know people who share a house. So I have done that in the past as well. What's the most interesting thing about your room? I'm guessing it's this guy here, Mr. Jerry. He's a minion. All right. And would you like to live in an unusual house? Well, it depends. Unusual house. I would like to live in a villa, for example. I think anyone would like that. But I'm not sure I would live in an old house, for example. Okay, so I'm just going to give you 1 minute, guys, to prepare your answers. And we will be starting very soon. Or maybe a bit more than 1 minute. Let's take 2 minutes for this. Now, these questions are all about ourselves, where we live, who we live with, and so on. So 2 minutes, starting now. Whenever you're ready now, you can start answering. Yeah, so you can proceed. Now you can proceed, yeah? Where Where do you live?
I live in Ho Chi Minh City, and I live with my parents. And in my house, I have two bedrooms. One in the first floor and one in the second floor. So I share my bedroom with my niece or maybe my aunt and uncle. So what is the most interesting thing about my room? So the interesting about my room is a lot of comic books, and I don't know what's unusual house. Can you explain for me?
Yeah, an unusual house would be an extraordinary one. Not a very common house, either a very old one, tatty house, either one of those houses on the water, for example. Yeah, I'm going to show you a picture in a second. Some people live on this in this kind of house. Obviously, not all of them are luxurious houses, like the floating house, for example. Yeah. Yeah, so these are water houses. I was actually watching a documentary about them somewhere in Thailand, I think, and also in India or Bangladesh. There are many people who live in this kind of houses. So basically like this one, floating bamboo houses.
Oh,
This is what we call unusual house, of course. I think this is in Thailand. I'm not sure. We might need to double check. In the Philippines. Yeah. So they are in the Philippines.
so they
Alright.
have flooded.
Yeah. So would you live in such unusual house?
If the first come and if the house is still good, so I still live here to alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure that many of us would not be comfortable with living in an unusual house.
Yes, of course.
Alright. Good, Nam. Thank you for that. That was very good. I'm just going to give a go to Bao whenever he's ready. So once again, thank you, Nam, and we're moving on to Bao.
Okay, so I live in Vietnam, which is Ho Chi Minh City, and I live with my parents. Even though we live in an apartment, we still have two bedrooms, and I used to share my bedroom with a friend sometimes on Sunday or Saturday, but I don't do that now. The most interesting about my room is charms, just mini little action 3D charms everywhere.
Very good.
And the most I don't really like unusual house. At first, I thought it was like pretty fine or normal, but when you show it to them, I changed my mind.
Yeah. All right. Well, unusual houses can also have a positive meaning, yeah. But that would be the luxury houses, yeah, luxurious ones. But usually, it's this special type of house which is obviously out of the ordinary. Even a floating house, as I showed earlier to Nam, even a tree house. You know what a tree house is, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would not live in an unusual house, right?
Definitely.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, guys, I just wanted to show you one more thing. There are people, just because houses in Europe are very expensive, people they have thought of this solution actually, making houses from a container. Yeah, and that's called a container house, which we could also consider unusual. I'm just going to show you some pictures and you will understand. Basically, this is a container house. in Europe and in America as well, houses are very expensive. So this is a solution that some people came up with, and they bought a used container, of course. It's pretty cheap, I think a few $1,000s. And they, of course, adjusted it. They created windows, doors, and so on. And they are using it right now as a house. This also counts as an unusual house, of course. Yeah. So container house. There are many unusual houses in the world. I think this is one of them, together with a tree house and also the floating one. Good. Alright, you guys, just gonna move to the next one. Oh. I'm from London. No, I'm from the UK, London, yeah. But I also lived in Europe for a long time. So yeah, I'm also familiar with what is happening in Europe. Well, actually, the UK is part of Europe. So yeah. Good. Thank you for that. So we're just going to move on to the next one. There you go. Homes in some specific vocabulary. Match the words in the box to A to K in the picture. We have a balcony, ceiling, cooker, cupboard, entrance, first floor, which some of you talked about, garage, ground floor, lamp, sink, and sofa. I'm just going to do the maths very quickly. We have 11 of them. So I'm going to do the first one, and it means that each of you will have 5 left. Balcony is B. B is the balcony. Yeah. Pretty simple here. B is the balcony, of course. Okay. So we're going to do it this way because last time we had Nam starting the task. I'm going to ask Bao to start now. I have just done balcony, so the next 5 words are yours. Ceiling is the next one.
So C.
Ceiling is... no, I'm afraid ceiling is not C. Ceiling. Oh, if you mean... I got it now. I got it. Yes, it was my bad. So, if you mean, yes, these parts, this one here and the other one there, those are the ceilings indeed. So that's the ceiling in the house. I believe you're right. I believe that C is... Yeah, so 4 words out of 11. Try to use 4 of them at least. Okay, so I'll give you 1 minute to think about it. How would you describe your home, making sure that you use 4 of these words, at least 4. So you could say, my house doesn't have a garage, but we usually store our motorbikes inside in a special room, or we park them outside. Yeah, things like this. Okay, 1 minute everyone, and we'll start. Ask Nam this time to start. That's okay. So that's going to be 4 words, at least 4 words from all of this word list. Okay?
Okay. So my house doesn't have a garage, but my house has a balcony, and my house has a sink in the kitchen, and in the ground floor we have a living room with a sofa and TV, and the second floor with a lamp. Does it?
Yep, it works. It works. That's very well. Thank you for that. Would you like to add anything else?
No more.
Okay, good, good, good. So the target is ticked. It is achieved. Thank you for that. It's Bao's turn.
So I live in apartment, which mean it's not that small or big. Neither it even have a balcony, which is sad because I cannot see the view. Not really. Also, at the same time, we do have a kitchen, but we don't have a cooker. And we used to have a garage, but we replaced it into a bedroom. And also at the same time, it also can be called for me to go there and study.
So you converted it.
Yeah.
Cool. It's very good. All right. Would you like to add anything else, Bao?
No.
Okay. Good, good, good. So once again, target achieved. Thank you so much. And here we have all of them, which we talked about. Of course, the ceiling and all of the others. Yes. Yeah, there's a small discrepancy here, guys, as you have noticed. But I told you that obviously these are the ceilings of the house. Basically, A will be a ceiling, and also this part, which is not labeled on this map. I think that everything else was in order. So yeah, those were the ceilings. Good. Okay. Some unusual houses, at least the one in the right. Yeah, we have A and B here. A is a villa, is a big house. It could also have a swimming pool somewhere in the back. Does have a small garden, a driveway. This is called a driveway, where we park the car. And as you can see, this one has a double garage. So it means they can accommodate 2 cars. That's a double garage. The driveway, an alleyway, of course, some trees, and so on. And B is a very simple one. We usually call it a motor home. It's because it's half car and half house. Yeah, it's basically 2 in 1. People do live in these houses, in motor homes, and it's actually quite fun because you can go from one place to another. It doesn't mean that you have a stable address. Yeah, you can move from one place to another. So yes, I believe that we just got a notification that our meeting is going to end in 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Plenty of time to read these 2 study cases, Paula and Gary. And yeah, read the article about Paula and Gary's homes and look at the photos. Which photo, A or B, shows where Paula and Gary live now? We're just going to do it this way. I'm going to ask Bao to start reading the green paragraph, if that's okay. And then Nam will continue with the blue one. Would that be all right?
Okay.
Yep, perfect.
Paula and Gary live in a modern house. It had a living room and a kitchen on the ground floor, and on the first floor, 2 bedrooms, one with a balcony and a bathroom. Next to the house, they had a garage for the car, and they even had a small garden with a little gate painted green. It sounds perfect. But Paula and Gary weren't happy. They both wanted to live somewhere more interesting. So they started to look for a new home. They were looking at homes on the internet one day when Tim, Gary's dad, had an idea. Tim had his own lorry business and he was selling one of his lorries. Why didn't Paula and Gary buy it and make it into their new home? Gary and Paula thought this was a brilliant idea and bought it that same day.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And now, Mr.
Okay. This was a busy year. Gary was building everything for the new home. While Paula was working, he built cupboard around the cooker and sink, and he even built a shower. They bought a small sofa because there was enough space for a big one. Finally, 6 months ago, Gary finishes the work on the lorry and they move in. Gary and Paula love the new home. Paula thinks the best thing is the engine made of wood and glass, and Gary loved the high ceiling because he thought there's no place like home.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so, yep, I believe we have a few minutes left. And the question says, which photo, A or B, shows where Paula and Gary live now? Where do they live now? The answer, I have to tell you, it's in the last paragraph. In the very last paragraph.
Who's go first?
Actually, guys, you can answer at the same time. That's totally fine. I just want your opinions, yeah?
So it's B.
It's B, yes, indeed. That's correct, Bao. Indeed, yes. Nam, did you also think of B?
Okay, yes.
Perfect. That's the one, indeed. Yes. B is the one. It's because it says here 6 months ago, Gary finished the work on the lorry and they moved in. Indeed. Yeah, that's a motor house or motor home. And it was half a lorry, as you can see, and then he built the rest of them. And it does actually mention that it has a high ceiling. As you can see, it is a very, very high house, even higher than the lorry, of course. It probably has double the height, so it's at least, I would say, 2.5 meters high. Yeah, it has a really high ceiling. Okay, that was it, guys. Just a few minutes left. So, answer the questions. 1, 2, 3. We have 6 questions. Number 1, how many floors did Paula and Gary's old house have? How many floors? I'm just gonna nominate. In this case, it's gonna be Nam answering this one. How many floors did Paula and Gary's old house have? The old house. How many floors did it have? Now, what do you think? How many floors?
The old house has only one floor.
Yes, exactly. So in some countries, actually, this is considered a 2-floor house. I believe that in America, they usually do this. But in the UK, for example, it doesn't actually count as a 2-floor house. It's a 1-floor house. Indeed, that's right. Because the ground floor, I'll tell you guys a secret, in the UK, we don't count it as a floor. Yeah, it's just a ground floor. So that's why we say 1-floor house. Indeed, thank you for that. Thank you. Now we're gonna move on to about why did Gary and Paula want to leave their old home?
Because they wanted to live in somewhat place that's interesting.
Exactly. That's correct. Thank you for that. Now moving on to number 3. What did Gary and Paula buy from Tim? Now, what did they buy from Tim?
So Because they're looking for the home in the internet. One day, then Tim Gary Dad had an idea. Tim has his own lorry business. He was selling one of his lorries.
Exactly. So the answer is A.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking.